Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. How's everyone this fine Woo-Woo Wednesday? It's Woo-Woo Wednesday, everybody. My throat's still doing the thing. It actually felt way better yesterday, and now we're back to it's kind of sore again. It's just been doing this since early March. I don't know what's going on, but I feel it's very energetic. Yeah, I'm sure things are spraying and doing also play a part, but it just feels very energetic to me. Anywho, how is everybody? Check on in. Let us know that you're here. Tonight we're going to be doing a free one card pull. I do believe that's what I said we were doing. And this whole computer, no, just Firefox looks like it has locked up. So I am going to close that out and try to restart that so I can keep up with my emails without having to toggle back and forth on this screen. This has been helpful. This has been very helpful. So we're going to close that, reopen it, or try to anyway. How's everybody doing since the eclipse and since Saturn has moved into the sign of Pisces per Vedic astrology? How you doing out there? It's very funny because I learned, for me personally, just the transit for me with Saturn moving into the 6th, in Pisces specifically, it looks like I'm changing careers again. So that's fun over these next 2.5 years. Most likely, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be sooner than later, just because my Venus is at very, very early Pisces. What else? What else has been going on? I'm trying to think. Also, Venus, no, I said Venus. Also, Neptune has been kind of with my Venus for a minute now, and it's still going to be there. I mean, it takes Neptune, a very long time to do its thing in any given sign. And I want to say for Western astrology, Neptune just moved into Aries. I think that's the transit that just happened like days ago. I could be wrong about that though. But yes, for Western astrology, Saturn has been in Pisces for a minute. But again, I like to look up in the sky and see the actual alignments that I'm talking about, if that makes sense. Not to say Western astrology is wrong, because it's not. It also works. That's the beauty of it. When so many people pay attention, spend their time with something, it can become real. It can, and it was once very real because that was the alignment at the time that it was established. But it's still very much a predictive tool, very much determines a person's personality when you read their chart. Like, it's still very valid. I don't know. For me, though, I just like to go back to the basics. I don't know. Not that there's anything basic about Vedic astrology. It's very complicated, and there's a lot of, like, there's the Jaimini system. There's, oh gosh, I forget all the things you can do. It didn't restore my tabs. Are you kidding me? Let me see if I can get it to do what I ask. No, it's not gonna. So I guess I'll just manually load my email real quick, just so we can stay up to date with the donation list. We already have one donation from Katie R. And that's it so far. So I will add that real quick. And it's full read. Oops. Okay, there we go. All right. So we have Versha's here. Hello. Kirsten's here. Hi. Marlene, hello. And Jessica, hi. How are you? All right. So we have a few people. I'm probably going to wait till anywhere between 5 and 7 minutes before we start pulling cards. Maybe 10 minutes. Maybe we'll chit chat for a bit. Just to allow those that are kind of the 5-minute and beyond notification squad to be able to come and get a free card reading. Not a 3 card, but free card. And because my throat's doing the thing, I figured we'd make it easy tonight. And I would literally just read you the card. Maybe this is a collective message. Let me read the collective message, because this was on the back and I've been shuffling. Okay, so whatever you have been putting off, don't procrastinate any longer. Tackle that long overdue project. You will feel better once you begin. Start with one thing at a time. Thoughts and ideas not acted upon are just lying in wait. You can do this. I think I needed that message for certain things too. Hello, Canary. Yeah, we're gonna do the password to get a free card pull here in just a moment. We were just kind of letting the notification squad join in. Usually about 5 minutes, they send another notification, and then about 10 minutes they send another notification. I don't know how it works. How long ago did I get my notification? I got mine at 6:01. Emailed me. It emailed me at 6:01. I don't get notifications on my phone for YouTube, not because they're not turned on. They are. I do for other YouTube things. Are there any YouTube ones? No. I mean, this is my notifications at any given time. There's just so much going on that I'm like, I get overwhelmed. Tanya's here. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. My throat, especially the later in the day. I did work earlier today, got 81 minutes at my other job. So lots and lots of talking today and the kids get home, you talk, husband gets home, you talk, lots of talking. So yeah, more talking. I might limit this to maybe 6 donations. I don't know. We'll see how my throat does. I probably should have made some hot tea or something. Because it's not that it really, it's kind of raw and a little bit sore, but it doesn't hurt per se. The pain scale is like a 2 out of 10, very manageable. It's just the constant throat clearing and phlegm clearing, all the fun things that aren't very fun to deal with when you got the throat issue. It feels to me like very much a collective thing, not collective as in all of humanity, but certain groups of people are having throat issues. And of course, this time of year and before, upper respiratory is like off the chain, usually anywhere between November and really, let's be honest, almost till May, right? A lot of upper respiratory crap just going around or being cleared, however you want to look at that. But yes, so we have hit about the 7-minute mark. We have a good number of people here. So let's pull a card. If you are interested in a card, put a 555, big changes coming in. All the pollens are pretty bad here. Oh, we don't have that going on yet. Although I did see some buds on my different trees in my backyard, which was very exciting. So I love that. But yeah, it's no pollens flying around. I haven't seen a dandelion yet, nothing like that. So we're still a bit early here where I'm at. Usually around my birthday, which is at the end of the month, April 28th. Usually around my birthday, my chokecherry tree is in like full blossom. But there have been years where it was more like the second week of May, 2 weeks after my birthday, that it's in full bloom. But we're talking like mid 20 teens. It was always in bloom by my birthday, like without fail. But since then, like probably closer to 2020, we're looking like first week of May, maybe second week of May, that it finally starts blooming. I'm going to watch it this year and just see, because something's shifting. Something's changing. I don't know. It's very interesting out here. It says there's 5 people here, but we have more than 555s. So anywho, YouTube be lying again. Oh, we have 5 people and 5 likes, 55. If you feel so inclined or just want to send a little love my way, you can put a like on the video. If you're on your phone, I think you have to close out a chat, like it, and then come back into chat. It's kind of interesting the way they have it set up. They should have it just an easy little click, like, ooh, right off on the screen, right here, click, like. Anywho, Michelle, welcome, welcome. Let's get Michelle a card. All right, Michelle. Find ways to fill your cup. Be self-full. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. Go deep within, find your triggers, and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. I love that. Yeah, and it's like any addict that's overcoming, I'm not saying you're an addict, this is just an example, but any addict that is, the family's like begging them to get help. It's not usually, I would say probably 9 times, if not almost 10 times out of 10, that the addict only will get help when they are ready. But same for like clearing our own triggers. It's usually us. It's not external to us people that are like, you need to get help for that. It's usually us that are getting either tired of our own BS, tired of our own triggers, our own traumas, that then we decide, okay, enough's enough with this thing, that thing, the other thing. Let me make that change I need to make. I know that's true for me in so many ways. I'm like, yeah. All right, Canary 002. Canary, let's get your message. And we have here, wait, you saw me shuffle. It's the same card. Same card Michelle just got. So maybe we're bridging the gap and just having an extended reading here. I'll read it again just for posterity. Find ways to fill your cup, be selfful, follow your heart, and always trust your intuition. Go deep within, find your triggers, and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. And everything else I just said. So, all right, Versha, let's get one for Kashfi. All right. All right. No matter how much you are being tested or pushed right now, stand your ground and push back. Although not maybe against your parents, your mom specifically. Believe in your own integrity and self-worth so much that no one can get in your way. Have the confidence to move forward. You can and will do this. This feels very much around the school, kids at school. Maybe you're right about something. Don't let someone say something opposite of what you're saying and stand your ground because you're correct with something here. All right. Jessica, let's get Jessica a card. Here we go. And we have here, make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. We've all been there, right? You need to know your worth. Even when others don't, you are not what other people think of you. You're not even what you think of you. That is something that's become very clear as I'm rereading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, however you pronounce his last name. I'm rereading that. Yes, I'm still working my way through the 14-book Neville Goddard book. That's like, it's a thick daddy because it's 14 books in one. I think I'm on book 4 or 5 in that whole thing. But yeah, rereading The Power of Now. We're the observer. I mean, this is something we've known about, we've discussed about. You are God having a human experience. You're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions. Yes, you are the observer of them or the one observing the feelings of them, absolutely, but they do not define you. And obviously, also, neither do other people. All right, let's get Tanya. Tanya, your card wants to come out right now. Look past what you feel are your incapabilities. Instead, focus on everything you have achieved so far. It is okay to acknowledge your weakness, but keep in mind that they don't define you. Your strength and your beautiful soul are clear for all to see. So anything that's been maybe aggravating you or frustrating you in some way because you're like, why can't I just figure this out? Or why can't I just do this? Like, why is this not easily coming to me for some reason? Give yourself some grace in those moments. All right. Coming up with Kirsten. Okay. Kirsten. Anything Kirsten needs to know. And we have here, if it is meant to be, it will be. You won't have to force, convince, or worry over it. Let it flow, let it be, and let it come to you. You are attracting everything you need. Trust the timing of your life. And apologies if I haven't shown each of you the card. I try to show it just in case someone wants to take a screenshot of it. You never know. I'm usually making a weird face in the background, but cool. All right, for Jessica's mom, let's get Jessica's mom a card. Here we have it. Make today your new beginning. Try to leave any past mistakes in the past. Don't allow them to weigh you down any longer. Move forward today with the confidence and knowing that you have better and brighter days ahead. Yeah, we can acknowledge those. Oops, sorry. We can acknowledge those mistakes for, okay, yeah, I messed up that one time, but or those 3 times or those 100 times. But that doesn't mean it has to continue to define you. Even if it's been a very distinct pattern or rut that you've been in your life where you just default to these ways of being, Jessica's mom, you have the ability in any now moment to shift that and become a different version of yourself that's not defined by the past mistakes. All right, Versha, let's give Versha a card. Here we go. All right, let go of the old and make way for the new. You may find yourself being distracted by random thoughts, fears, or doubts. Don't allow yourself to be governed by them. Simply observe and choose to take aligned actions and choices. And I was getting a very clear download. That's why I kind of like stumbled in the middle of that. That especially as we are, this is kind of for everybody, but especially for Versha because it's her reading. But listen up, everybody. Especially when you are leveling up, you will get bombarded with just the nastiest thoughts coming in that aren't you, that they aren't yours. Like, oh, who are you to shine? You're not good enough. Man, you look fat today. Just the dumbest stuff just coming in. And also specifically around your healing, your looks, your oh, that person doesn't like me, the way that they, had that weird inflection with their voice. Maybe they don't like me, these weird thoughts that just come in because you are leveling up. And the last thing that these entities working through our thoughts want are for us to level up. That's the last thing they want. So of course they're going to hit it hard when you are leveling up. So if you feel like you're just being blasted by other people's negativity, by negative thoughts, by just feeling a lot of anxiety and stress in your body, know that you're onto something. All right. Especially you, Versha, because it's your message. So absolutely. All right, Marlene. My chat just jumped. Come back. Marlene. All right, here's a card for Marlene. What does Marlene need to know? Oh, you get 2, Marlene. Lucky duck. Okay, slow down and take your time. There is no need to rush everything. You are already doing your part. Trust that what belongs in your life is already making its way toward you in divine timing. There you go. And second one, you need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You are not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your past, not other people. Love that one too. Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, absolutely. Stagger those back in. Okay. Up next, we got Brandy Lynn. Hello, Brandy Lynn. Welcome, welcome. All right. For Brandy Lynn. And we have here, self-awareness is key. Take time today to go within and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. Meditate. Listen to your favorite music. Whatever you enjoy most, do that today. Very feminine energy card here. So just getting back in touch with your feminine energy. Love it. Very, very potent and pertinent right now. Thick layer of yellow dust everywhere outside, but I feel it's not natural somehow. It's very interesting because, all growing up, you would see a little bit of pollen, but not the way you do now. It's next level, and just, it doesn't feel right. Something about it does feel off. You're very right about that, at least in my opinion. I'm feeling it too. Absolutely. All right, for S, I can never pronounce his name correctly, so we'll just call him S. All right, card for S. And we have here, trust the wait. You are being prepared for your blessing. In order to receive it, you have to be ready to receive. Things you are going through now are not random. Trust the flow of the universe. Yes. All right, Linda. Let's get Linda a card. Welcome, Linda. All right, for Linda, we have here, sit in silence for a moment and listen. The answers you have been seeking are finally coming to you. Truly trust and believe that you are going to make it and be exactly where you need to be. We are on this journey with you. Hang in there. It's not much longer. So something's about to break through for you. But sometimes we kind of have to be that eye of the storm or eye of the hurricane to have everything just calm down around us. Or if that's not happening, like the chaos is happening all around you, you have to be the calm of the storm. But usually when this energy pops up, there's something really big and exciting about to pop through. Very fun. Katie, let's get Katie a card. She's going to be kicking off our donation list here shortly. And so far, we only have 1 donation. So anyone looking to get their question answered tonight, go ahead and you can look at the pinned comment or down in the description for how to do so. If you're new here or just forgot how things work, I think most of you are pretty regular. You know the drill. You know what's up. All right, Katie, let's get Katie's message. We have here, if you find yourself, okay, did we do this one? No, I don't think so. So if you find yourself stuck in a situation you are unhappy with, ask yourself why you are still there. Is it fear of the unknown? Leaving toxic situations or people can be the best thing you could do for your soul and your spirit. Be fierce. And I know there's that old saying or new saying, I don't know how old the saying is, but that saying that usually people will only make a difficult change or decision when staying where you've been becomes more uncomfortable than making that change. I hope I didn't completely butcher the sentiment, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying is, even though like an outsider looking at it and be like, oh my God, that's so toxic. How can you be in that relationship? How can you stay at that job? Whatever it is. But because we get used to whatever, kind of boil the frog approach. You just kind of get slowly used to the toxicity or the drama until one day it just becomes too much. Maybe you did some clearing and cleansing to your energy field and you're high vibe, and then you return to work that next Monday and you're like, ew, I can't do this anymore. And so you're leveling up when that happens. So Katie, there might be a situation, a relationship, something coming in or that's already been going on that you're just deciding enough's enough. It can be even your own energy or just the toxicity that we get in our own bodies and our own thought processes. Not that it's our fault, but it is our responsibility to level up, to clear it out, clean it out, do whatever we can. When we know better, we do better, all the fun things. I know I was pep talking to her today, about it today, and not to be driven by what her peers say at school. Absolutely. It's a book. I had to take a break. It's so heavy. And yeah, and those concepts, like they need time to marinate or to kind of like give you those epiphanies. Because you can read the same, like I was reading it while I was working my other job, kind of between calls. And I have to read the same paragraph 3 or 4 times to like let it really sink in, to really get it. It's really dense, but rich in information. So I was taking a lot of notes, which my notebook's buried way underneath a stack of stuff. So I won't even pull that out, but lots of notes, lots of notes. Yes, it definitely is a book. Oh my God. Yes, this totally fits. Thank you. Resonates. Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, wow. Couldn't be more perfect. I'm so glad these are resonating with you guys tonight. Yeah, I mean, normally I do more of my own commentary on everything, but I just thought, let's just do fun little like self-explanatory messages tonight. All right. Such a good card for her. She said thank you. Oh, she's so welcome. Oh my God, that message today. Oh, I got the message today, the past thoughts, memories, etc. coming up. And I was wondering, I feel something is going out. Did very powerful entity clearing yesterday. Oh, that's so amazing. Faria Edits, welcome. Hope I'm saying your name correctly. Hi, John. You're not too late. Put a 555 in the chat if you would like a card. 1 free card pull. Or if you're Marlene, you'll get 2 coming out. Luck of the draw. Yeah. Oh, did another merging with my I Am presence today. Carrie K's Plasma Light Tribe is mind-blowing. Oh my gosh. If I wasn't in this Relationship of Your Dreams Academy right now, that takes like it's a part-time job in itself. Like I haven't yet. I'm supposed to be joining these different calls throughout the week to get more help and to learn more and to get more experience with feminine communication and being able to be more embodied in my feminine. But like going through the coursework, doing the missions, like it's good. I am so excited I signed up, but like also at the same time, I'm like, we're in sports ball season, as Brandy Lynn calls it. Boston's in baseball, Wrigley's in baseball, Boston's in basketball, Wrigley's in soccer, all at the same time. All at the same time. Be it though soccer and basketball, the other 2 sports that are not the boys' baseball, will only last, soccer will last 6 weeks. It starts next week. So the following Sunday, not the Sunday, but the next, for 6 Sundays. And I think they usually skip a Sunday because they have something going on. So about the next 7 weeks, but only 6 of them are game weeks. And basketball is only 5 weeks worth. So they'll end relatively sooner. But still, to have 4 sports for at least a minimum of 5 weeks is intense. And roll up my sleeves, get my game face on, because it's not for the faint of heart every spring. But then when it all is over, I'm like, oh, now what do I do with my life? Now what do I do with my time? All this free time. But hey, back to the whole thing. If I wasn't so like focused and enmeshed in this whole year long, it's a year long. So I'm in it until March 5th is when I signed up. So I'm in it till March 5th of 2026. And I think after that, unless I like free up and become a woman of leisure or something, I don't see that I'll even have time to join the Plasma Light Tribe. And I really want to. I really want to. It just seems so much fun. Maybe in the summer if I'm less busy, but no, the kids are going to be home all the time and then doing all their different sports camps and regular camps and all the things. So I don't know. There needs to be 48 hours in a day for me to be able to experience and do all the things I want to do and still have time to just veg out and have self-care and all the fun things. Oh, this concept of time, whoever invented it is a like masochist, I tell you. Anywho, yeah, anyone wanting a card, put a 555 in the chat. John, let's get John a card. Speaking of roll-up sleeves, I think I'm just take this off. It got pretty warm in here. Not like hot flash warm, but like the heater's on under my feet and it just feels a little warm. So there we go. Okay, here we go. So it was hailing earlier and grappling all at one. Now it's raining. So it's been like my whole yard was white for a while there. Let me see. You can still see it. It's a little patchy, but I'll show you. You see some white hail. That's hail. That's not snow. That was green grass underneath that stuff there. Yeah, so I'm like, maybe the sun will have a better lighting situation, but I see the sun's kind of peeking through the clouds. You can see my shadow. I'm not a groundhog, but you can still see my shadow. Anywho, I don't know where I was going with that, but let's get John a card. Let's get John a card. All right. Anything for John? Instead of pushing yourself so hard, stop, breathe, and reevaluate. You are doing enough. Even if it doesn't feel like it, don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It is not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. I mean, weren't we just talking about that? 48 hours in a day, that would be nice. But yeah. And usually when I feel this like almost manic, like, how am I going to get it all done? That is indication number one to slow the F down, sit your butt down, and just breathe. Like everything's going to get done. Nothing's going to slip through the cracks. And if it does, it wasn't meant to be. So it's like, breathe, just breathe, even slow your speech. Like you notice I just get talking real fast. It's like, just slow it all down. Even your hand movements, Amanda, slow it down. So maybe you're just in need of a vacation or a break or a staycation or something like that, John. And if you're feeling that way, honor that. Give yourself a break. All right, Feria Edits. Let's get you a card. Linda loved the card. Yay. And thanks from Versha for her K and S. You're so welcome. All right, Feria Edits. Here is your card. We have your life is about to start moving quickly in some areas. Events that seem to have been on hold suddenly propel forward. Very Eight of Wands energy. Very exciting. You're very passionate, very purposeful about whatever this is. Move with the flow and be mindful of what needs your attention most. Make decisions rationally, but sensibly. And also incorporate some intuition. You know, that never hurts. Very cool. And I apologize if I haven't showed everyone else their card. As I was saying earlier, I try to show the card at least for a few seconds so someone can screenshot it if that's something they want to remember or have or use as like a little, I don't know, what's the word? Like an affirmation or something. Okay. Oh, Kirsten donated as well. Cool. Thank you from Katie. Oh, you're so welcome. Had to set boundaries with with my ex-husband the other day. Totally resonates. There you go. So you already know what's up. Did the same with mine this past Saturday night. I hear you and feel you. Yeah. Oh, going through an ice storm tonight. Oh my goodness. Yeah, isn't there a lot of weather going on up where Brandy Lynn lives as well? I think I saw that there was like ice storms and like power outages and all sorts of stuff on that end of the US. Kind of up in here, up and over here. Thankfully, we've been having nice 40 to 50 degree weather, which, you know, is pretty good for early April, if you ask me. Where I'm at anyway, not maybe if you're in Hawaii or, you know, down where Versha is, maybe that's not very nice, but pretty nice for around here anyway. Anywho, there's been a constant effort to keep away the sun here from Saturday till yesterday evening. We didn't get the sun. Oh, wow. And today as well, very little. This is the first, there was maybe 3 or 4 little dashes of the sun coming out behind the clouds through the day today, but they lasted maybe 3 to 5 minutes tops. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to go, I know the steps are wet, but I'm going to go stand in the sun at the very least, let the sun, like it's shining. It's still kind of diffused. I would show you, but yeah, I'll just show you. It's still diffused behind the clouds, but like these darker clouds off to, it looks like your left, but it could be your right. I don't know how they orientate these videos. that's pretty much what the skies look like all day. Just very cloudy, almost stormy looking. It's been raining on and off all day. Now maybe it's a little too bright, but I'm cool with that. I mean, I look a little weird, but that's okay. That's okay. Bringing in all the imperfections in my skin, but hey, I'm not here to impress anyone anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, and I've noticed the days that it was like, I'll say about a week and a half ago, we had a couple 70, 68-degree days, like in a row. We had like 3 to 4 of them in a row, and it was just bliss because the sun was out and I was out taking advantage of every moment that the sun was out that I could, just trying to, clear up all the crap in my system and just let the sun purify and cleanse me, in all the ways. And even if it's not our true sun, I always connect to like the true original blueprint of the sun on this planet, or the great central sun, whatever floats your boat. Because the sun that's actually out there is not the sun I remember. It's not the same sun from my childhood anyway. I must have come from a different timeline. I don't know. But I always set that intention to connect. Because I remember, yeah, the sun was hot in the summer, especially when you're a kid, when I was a kid. But I don't remember it being so hot. Like, it's like an oven. Like, even in the winter, when the sun hits your skin, it's like a heater. I mean, duh, it's the sun. It's supposedly, I don't know how many degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. Like, it's a hot thing out there. It's hot. We get it. It's hot. But I don't remember it being as hot as it is. It's just weird. It's even more intense than it used to be. Someone turned up the dial. Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, you are all over. Some days it's 60, some days it's freezing. Yeah, and that's kind of usually what we experience here in the summer. Sorry, not the summer. We don't freeze in the summer usually. In the spring. In the spring is what I meant to say. Thing is, no matter how much they try to shield, the actual organic sun rays are reaching us, and they do reach us. They absolutely do. And if you follow like human design, they talk about these neutrinos that are coming off the sun, which basically like light codes, whatever you want to call the energy, the information coming to us from the great central sun, from source itself. The sun is a portal. Each of us are portals to the other side as well. But the sun, we're going to receive those even if we're indoors under like heavy layers of blankets or something. We're still going to receive those codes. So even if they blot out the sun, joke's on them. It's still going to reach us. It just feels more intentional when we can be out there basking in the rays of the sun in a safe way and feeling like we're getting those downloads. I mean, they're going to happen no matter what. Let's just put that out there. What's meant to reach us will reach us. Even if we're like agoraphobic, hiding in a basement somewhere, like somehow, some way, that light information will reach us. So don't worry, don't fret. If you feel like it's been way too many days and the sun's just been hidden, those light codes are still reaching you. For sure. I can promise you that. Okay. So the sun is brighter than ever right now. It's really coming through. So we have Katie has donated. Kirsten said she did. I'm not seeing it pop up yet. Was it PayPal or was it, I think a super chat would have just popped up right here in the chat like it normally does. I don't see one of those. So just double check, Kirsten, if you did donate that it went through, because I'm not seeing it, at least not reflected in my email yet. Nope, there it is. I lied. It just popped up. It's there. My computer's being really slow to refresh. So it's there. You're good to go. That's it. Yep, you're there. All right. Katie, let's get Katie some cards on her question. Let's see what her question is to start us out. Anywho, take a quick drink of water. Yes, Mother, Father, Earth, both balance. Oh, so part I watched from Raylene's Monday podcast, she said the rashes people are getting from being in the sun is an allergic reaction to the new energies that the Earth is anchored into. That makes sense. I noticed, it's very interesting because I noticed just a bit of like a flush on my skin. It wasn't like bumpy raised rash or anything, but I just saw almost like red, kind of like when you're flushed, you were working out or something and your skin can kind of get flushed. And I was only out there for just a few moments. It was only on the left side. Oh, and before we get into Katie's question, let me just tell you about the insane dream I had last night. What? But I felt like this, like upon waking, I'm like, wow, okay. I even went to Chat GPT. That's not something I normally do. Because I was trying to, like, I felt into it first, and I pretty much came to the same conclusion that Chat GPT did, as far as what the heck did that mean? What was that all about? Um, so let me go to the right note. I have too many notes on my phone here. Okay. So I just asked, what is the meaning of a dream where Bam Margera, in a rage, took a blowtorch to the left side of my face? I could feel the heat of it, and my, like, the hairs on the left side got split ends, but they didn't like get singed, but more like split ends, weirdly. I could feel the heat of it, but I didn't get burned, and there was no flame on the blowtorch. And it may have been a flamethrower. It was some sort of device that he was holding. Like, he was raging. Like, he was absolutely angry, coming at me, bro, with this thing. And I could feel the heat of it, but I didn't back down. Like, I just stood there, like, in my presence. And it only affected the left side of my body. It was like aimed at the left side, which feminine side, right? What am I doing this whole time, since probably January, working on my feminine, integrating more of my divine feminine energy? So I just asked Chat GPT. It said, dreams involving intense emotions, especially fear, pain, or confrontation, often symbolize internal conflict, stress, or unresolved issues. Let's break down some of the key elements in your dream. Bam Margera, as a public figure, is known for his rebellious, chaotic, and self-destructive tendencies. His presence in your dreams could symbolize either an aspect of yourself, reckless, uncontrolled emotions, or an external influence that feels volatile or destructive. To me, this was very internal. Like, I know this is me dealing with my own internal, like, repressed anger, repressed rage, just at the injustice of this place that we live and how unfair and unbalanced and inverted everything is. It just makes me rage inside, and it was coming out in the stream for sure. Rage and blowtorch. A blowtorch is a tool of extreme heat, often used to shape or destroy things. The fact he was in a rage while using it on you could represent either an external force of anger or aggression in your waking life, or your own suppressed, yes, emotions manifesting in a destructive way. Left side of the face. In dream symbolism, the left side of the face represents intuition, emotions, and unconscious mind. The face itself is associated with identity and self-perception. This could suggest an attack on your emotional or intuitive self, or a fear of being judged or harmed in a way that affects your self-image. Which makes sense in a lot of ways. Not that I'm a public figure, but just knowing that I talk about what I talk about to not just you guys on here online, but my other job. I open myself up to attacks because I am trying to serve the light and help and heal. And people like that get attacked. It's just a given. Feeling the heat but no burn. This is an interesting contrast. Feeling the heat means you were close to the danger or impact, but not being burned suggests resilience or emotional numbness. I think maybe a little bit of both on, my part, those repressed emotions that need to come out. Definitely. But also the resilience of just being in this world and feeling the feelings that I can feel. Or emotional numbness. It could indicate that while something in your life feels overwhelming or threatening, it hasn't truly harmed you yet. Or you may have a greater ability to withstand stress than you realize. Absolutely. No flame on the blowtorch. This might suggest that the perceived threat in your life isn't as dangerous as it appears. It could be symbolic of anger or aggression that lacks real destructive power. Perhaps someone in your life or an aspect of yourself is acting out, but ultimately can't truly hurt you. And that, to me, is just knowing that I'm safe to feel this repressed rage without, like, harming somebody. Because that was always my, like, whole... especially, that Mars Saturn in my 12th house of that's repressed anger to a T right there. But what that means for, like, I was always afraid because I saw my dad openly show his anger, and I never want to be like my dad. So I was afraid that if I allowed myself to express any rage or anger, I would do it in the way my dad did. But I'm not him. He's not me. So no, like, the rationalizing wasn't rationalizing. So yeah, I've learned that I can allow that anger to come out in very safe ways that aren't going to harm me, that aren't going to harm anybody. And also I learned that there's something called a rage room. Have you heard of that? Where you can just go pay a fee, get some coveralls on, get yourself a big, like, hammer or something and go in and just destroy old cars or old computers or just old stuff that's basically trash anyway, and you can just go in and like take your aggression out on it. I think that would be cool. And we, I guess, have one here in town. I don't feel that I've reached that, like, I need to go hit someone or something. Like, no, definitely not. My rage comes out usually in the bathtub, and I just release it like almost as just like this guttural, like, kind of yelling, which I'm sure I usually do it when no one's home. I mean, the dogs are always home, and I'm sure they're like out there, like, what is she doing in there? Which is kind of embarrassing to admit, but like, hey, it's got to come out. It's got to come out. It's interesting. I know a shaman woman told me when you are in danger in a dream, but not getting hurt, it can mean you have more control than you think. Yeah. And it was very interesting because even in the dream, I'm like, I'm feeling the heat of it. And it was pretty intense. Even in the dream, I'm like, wow, this is hot. But I wasn't like again, on a scale of 1 to 10 with pain, it was maybe a 3 or 4 in the dream, like just remembering back. I'm like, yeah, it's not harming me. And you'd think someone in that much of a rage and they're realizing they're not actually harming me, that they'd start using fists or something, but he didn't. He kind of like backed off and like went and threw a fit and was like running his hands through his hair and freak. Like, I don't even know why he was upset with me. But again, he's most likely representing that rebellious, like immature inner shadow of myself, masculine, or repressed feminine potentially. Yeah. So obviously that it wasn't even Bam Margera himself attacking me in the dream. No, it was, a version of my own self. That's the thing though. If you have a specific celebrity that you do dream about, you can actually look up their birth chart and see if there are any correlations with the current transits or any of your alignments in your birth chart. Because people who specifically have their sun, moon, or rising conjunct your south node, they can actually act as like a muse for you. And weirdly enough, I know 2 off the top of my head that are that for me. One is Marilyn Manson, which, ew, creepy. Another one is Seth Rogen, who's an actor. God, I thought I knew another one. Maybe James Franco as well, if I remember correctly. I don't think I've ever dreamed about James Franco. I used to have, weirdly enough, before I even knew about this whole concept, which I learned from Claire Nocti astrology. She does like Vedic astrology stuff, and she's really up on the nakshatras. So you find your Ketu or South Node nakshatra that your South Node is in, and you find celebrities or even people in your life that you may dream about, but they are actually acting almost as a guide in the dream. So if you have, like, say if I have another Marilyn Manson dream next week, I need to be paying way closer attention to that dream than say a random Bam Margera dream, unless Bam also has some alignments with what I have going on, especially around my South Node. South Node is a really big point for dream interpretation, past life stuff, courage, even future life. So you would think, oh, Rahu would be future because it's like where you're going. Yes and no. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so fun fact. Look up your K2 or South Node Nakshatra and see if you can just Google. You'd probably have to look at someone like Claire Nocti or something and find her nakshatra. She's got lots of videos on nakshatra. And if you're a man, you would look at female celebrities or people that represent this. And if you're a woman or female or born female, you would do the masculine or the male. They could be singers, performers, people in life, any kind of personality, celebrity, influencer, person in your life. Like, it could be anybody out there. But usually celebrities kind of almost become like archetypal people because so many different people, like, Marilyn Manson specifically, like, people get a vibe, right? Like, you can do a vibe check like through the greater of humanity, and those that know who Marilyn Manson is may have one opinion or another, but you can kind of get an archetype off of that. Or even like Seth Rogen as an actor, he's kind of goofy, he's got that laugh. You may think one way or another about him, but like he is kind of that like smart ass, kind of snarky kind of wit about him. But yeah, you can get a lot of information about dreams and stuff. I don't know why I needed to share all that, but there it is. So you're welcome, I guess. Yeah, I guess, well, that's the thing is my dreams have been insane, like very lifelike. I mean, yeah, throughout my life, I've had very lifelike dreams. But the other morning, I actually woke up from a dream that was very real, and I'm still like, there's still one thing that I'm still like trying to determine, did that actually happen or was that a dream? And it's kind of weird and interestingly personal, so I probably won't even share what it was, but I'm like, it's something really inconsequential and just normal, but I'm like, was that a dream or did that really happen? Like, that's how interesting dreams are becoming, to where, yeah, of course, some of your dreams you wake up from, like, you, yeah, that was definitely a dream. But then others are so lifelike and realistic and almost playing out in real time, unlike some dreams that just jump from one place and scenario and people are morphing and shifting very much like AI. But then there are those other dreams that feel almost like you're living it in real time. Like, you walk from one room to the other. You have like goals, you're doing things almost like you're in a video game, but like it's very lifelike. Very weird. Um, yeah, I feel your I am presence was in control. I definitely feel that. And there was this dream I had years ago, probably 2017, where Mary Kate or Ashley, I never was one that knew could tell those two apart. So don't maybe nowadays, because they, I think, do dress very differently and have different personalities. But when they were kids, Mary Kate and Ashley from Full House, well, I had a dream one or the other of them. There was only one of them in the dream, but they were murdered, R-worded, and then murdered, to be specific. So it was like an attack dream. And then the people took these like railroad spikes, which are basically, for those of you that don't know what those look like, they're basically like really big nails. Like, we're talking like this size, but they like nailed through my palm, through my chest, and then through each of my feet to this wall. And they were gonna do the same thing to me that they just done to her. But I just was like, "Wait a second, I'm dreaming. Nah, not happening. Nope." And I just went like this, like this, like this, and then both my feet, and just got off the wall. I'm like, "I'm out. Like, bye." Bye. And I just left. And then I woke up. I'm like, "Whoa." I'm not very good at lucid dreaming, but I've had a few moments where I can kind of wake up in the dream and make some things happen. But if you have any kind of the girlies are now saying smexual, because the sex word is triggered by the algorithm. But if you're having a dream where that's happening to you, or someone's feeding you something, or handing you something, pay very close attention. Sorry, we're shining a light on this right now. Pay very close attention to dreams where you're given any kind of gift, or someone hands you something, or wow, that's worse. You're signing any kind of contract, literally, or whatever. Someone's doing smexual things to you. Pay very close attention to what's going on, or who's involved, or what was handed to you, because these usually are entities working through the astral to try to get you to sign a contract or to give your power away in some way. So if you ever have a dream like that and you wake up and you just feel really dirty or off, or just gives you the shivers, like in the not a good way, clear your energy and revoke any contracts that were made knowingly or unknowingly in that dream. Because yes, the jinn, yes, demons also work in this realm very much, but demons are small potatoes compared to jinn are really, like, no joke. And let's just put this out there. Every single one of us has had contact or been in contact with a jinn, not only in the astral, but also in waking life. So it's scary, but it's also really common. So don't feel like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, knowingly or unknowingly, you've had an interaction or contact with a jinn, both in waking and dream life. Yeah. Absolutely. That's interesting. Oh, I read that one. Oh my God, I was having those until I removed the jinn permanently from S. Oh yeah, yeah. It'll happen over and over again. Like, they will keep coming back for more, because it's such, like, if you're not going to do anything about it, they're just going to keep coming back for more and more and more and more. It may not be every day or every other day, but like, you'll notice, and maybe they're different people or different situations in the dream, but the energy is very similar each time it happens. And if you're not sure how to clear these, you can go. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Maya Zahira. Books. She's got like 3, maybe 4 books out now on all sorts of different ways of energy, like entity removal, um, like clearing your energy after working with false healers or false spirit guides. If you had any kind of entities in your field or your home or other people that you live with or around, um, how to clear and cleanse this energy. Because she had a really significant jinn attack that almost killed her. Like, sorry, uh, unalived her. Algorithm. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty scary stuff. I've had an unknown man hand me candy and apologize several times in my dreams recently. Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of, there was, let me just see if run this by you. If any of you guys have ever dreamed about this person. Let me find it. I don't know really what to search to find it. Okay. So there's a phenomenon of a reoccurring man in dreams known as this man has gained notoriety with many individuals claiming to have encountered him in their dream, often describing him as haunting or foreboding. And his picture creeps me out. I just got chills. Have you ever had a dream about this man? And he may vary with this, but usually he has like a unibrow, kind of balding in the front, but like darker hair and eyes. And his smile, it can get really creepy. Like I've had a dream about this guy many times, actually. Not anytime lately. Like this is what he looks to me, this is the most accurate I've seen him look. And to me, like in the dream, he had like more Asian features for sure. Um, very creepy. That's good. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You don't want to be on this bandwagon. Thankfully, I have not had that dream since probably 2017, 2018. But I had remembered him all through my childhood, just randomly showing up as like a kidnapper or just like what Jessica was saying, and that's what kind of triggered me to remember, like handing you candy or something. Like, I remember one when I was like leading up to my driving years before ever learning to drive. I would have dreams like I don't know how to drive, and the brakes, like I don't know which one's the brake, I don't know which one's the gas, and I'm like about to drive off a cliff. I did have a dream where that guy showed up. He's like, I'll show you how to drive. And I'm like, I remember in the dream being very apprehensive. And I was probably 12 or 13. Like, and I still remember it like I had that dream yesterday. It's so clear in my mind. So creepy. But like, oh yeah. No. And I know most of us don't have a lot of control in our dream state or can do that lucid dreaming like purposely. I can from time to time accidentally do it. But usually if I set that intention to do it purposely, I almost never can for whatever reason. But if you have the ability to lucid dream and you're in anything compromising, just get out. Just peace out. I'm just gonna go hang out with my true spirit and just get some real rest. I don't need to be messing with you clowns right now in the astral, because it is a dumpster fire out there. Let's just be honest. They're out for any little scrap of attention you will give them in the astral. They will dress up as your family members, as your pets, as your friends, as people you don't like, as celebrities. Their real trick is to dress up as celebrities and try to do really sexy things with you. And it's creepy. Because energetically, maybe not in the dream, but after you wake up, you're like, that may have looked like that celebrity, but it really felt not like that celebrity. Yeah. And I'm just not one out here that's like fantasizing about any celebrities anyway. So when I have a dream like that, I'm like, that's not normal for me. That's weird. I did see one such dream where we did drive off a cliff into the trees. It was in 2019 after I had that dream where I left control of my car with Kashfi with me, but I saw a stop button appear. Wow. And see, I think in times like that, when you have dreams where just like, almost like, what do they call it? Is it called Deus Ex Machina? Deus Ex Machina in like in a novel. I think that's what it's called. Let me look it up. And I'll just give you the definition. So it's a Latin phrase meaning God from the machine. And it's a plot device used in a lot of fiction or some, you don't want to see this in fiction, it's a plot device used where an unexpected event suddenly resolves like a seemingly unsolvable problem. So it's like you're leading up to the climax of your book, and then there's like this divine intervention that makes everything okay. You don't want to see that in fiction because it really ruins a story and everybody's like story arc, like your character arc, like going from this weak little peon to someone who's really embodying their power. You don't want to ruin your character arc like that. But in a dream state, bring on the Deus Ex Machina, because I'm not out here to try to be up against these entities just all on my own anyway. But anywho, I promise now we're getting into Katie's reading. Apparently we needed to take a dream detour. Who knew? Who knew? I did not have that on my radar for tonight, but there it is. So Terry K says the astral has dissolved. Yeah, and that's what I was getting like way back. We can still access it, so to speak, but it really is our waking reality, just beyond what we can see. Is how I kind of equate it. I don't know how she equates it exactly, but it was around the time of the Rude Awakening from the Awakening back in late 2022, I believe that was. Yeah, it feels to me like it was collapsing. It was merged with this reality. But you got to think, we see 1% of this reality. So what else is out there? What's the other 99% consisting of? The astral at this point. Yeah. And interdimensional beings and other things that we just don't have access to. But yeah, I'm in agreement with that, because that's the exact download I got around the time of the Rude Awakening from the Awakening. And back then it felt like it was in progress. It wasn't complete yet, but it was happening. Like it was in progress. It was in collapse. It was in free fall. And the same thing is now happening to the 3D reality. Da-da-da. If you look around, if you feel around, just everything feels off. I mean, the sun is not the sun we grew up with. The thick pollen, the weird snow. I mean, yes, they're engineering certain things out there, but the 3D matrix is collapsing. The astral realm is already collapsed. The 3D matrix is now collapsing. Anything that is false or fake or, inorganic, it is in collapse right now. It may have already fully collapsed. It's just we're taking our sweet time to catch up to actually embody the changes and be back with the organic again. It was inorganic 4D, and now they have no place to go. If you have resolved your stuff inside and have more of your light in place, they cannot connect with you. And that's what it's feeling like even in these dreams, especially since 2016, because so many of the dreams I had as a kid, as a teenager, early 20s, up to my 30s, early 30s when I had this awakening, I just was so powerless in so many dreams. I mean, maybe a random one-off where I fly away from the bad guys or the situation. I had so many dreams growing up, and even today, but they're very less frequent now, where I'm either being attacked or I'm running and hiding from bad guys, or I'm breaking in, not breaking windows, but I just turn the doorknob and go right on in to random people's houses. And we were talking about that a while back here. I wasn't even stealing things or taking things, but there was a bunch of stuff out by people's trash bins that I'm ooh, I could upcycle this little end table, or ooh, look at this cool plant that just has one little branch broke off. I can take this home, and why'd they throw it away? But in the same dream that I then went into someone's house and then they were home, and I'm we talked about that at one point. But yeah, I've had a lot of dreams where, and probably 2 weeks ago, I had a dream that I was just going into the same lady's house every day after her and her husband left for work and making myself a sandwich. And my son a sandwich, Wrigley, was with me. And then we would walk out, and I just maybe 3 or 4 times over and over doing this. I never ate the sandwich, mind you. And in one time, I'm allergic to onions, or intolerant. I don't know if I'm allergic, but intolerant for sure to onions. And there were those purple onions that people put in sandwiches and stuff on the sandwich that was already made. And I picked it up and I was going to chew it. I was going to bite it. And I'm someone's on to me. Someone made a sandwich and just left it here. They know what I'm doing. And I grabbed Wrigley and we left. Oh my God. Why? I don't know. Why a sandwich? Why onions? Why would I be going? Why couldn't I make the sandwich in my own house in the astral or in the dream state? Why did I have to go into some random lady's house? But I also was always checking her bookcases, ooh, that looks like a good book to read. But I would never take any of her books or steal anything from her house in the dream. It was really weird. I don't know. She said it's collapse. It's the energetic soup of the consciousness that is giving us a feel. Yeah, absolutely. And I can feel that because a weight over this last year, probably a weight has lifted in a way that I can't even explain, but it feels significant. Sandwich thief, right? It's a creature salad. I ate the creature salad. The more people will stop being in their mind and more in the body, embody more of our light, this will fade away as well. There's so much information in the tribe. I love it. I'm so excited someday to join that. I need to just maybe make the time. I don't know where I'm going to find the time, but I need to make the time. But yeah, that's why I just feel this like emergency call to just get as in my feminine energy as humanly possible in this realm at this time. Like and it's all about getting out of the head, getting into the heart, getting into the womb, getting into the body, just allowing your body to flow and move. Not having to be so scheduled and systematic with things or analytical all the time. And that's something that like reading The Power of Now. I'm trying to read more books like this is one I think I even gifted Tanya a copy of this because the first time I read this, I'm like, oh my God, Tanya needs this in her life. And I've got this out because I do want to reread it. This really opened a Pandora's box for me with my feminine energy. I don't want to say I read this back in this is definitely before 2020, but I don't remember what year this was even published. I promise we're getting to your reading, Katie and Kirsten. We're getting there. I'm just taking my sweet time to do it, apparently. And I'm like, oh, we'll just, we'll go till our donations run out and we'll limit my talking. But here I'm talk. Yeah, I want to say it was around 2017 because it came out in 2016, wherever the date was on here. I just saw it for the love of something. There it is up there. Yeah, I want to say it was around 2017 that I read this initially. And yeah, so when I am reading now, I'm getting more into if I am taking notes, they're going to be notes that I actually follow through with. Like I was taking notes on Ola Wolney's feminine energy. Oh gosh, what were those? Oh, my tabs did not refresh or restore, so I can't even tell you. The feminine energy webinars. And there's like 7-8 hours of content just between the two webinars I purchased from her. But I mean, I took so many notes. Just mind-boggling information that, yeah, how to really, keys to unlock. Oh, the feminine alchemy. That's what it was. So she's got 2 of them now. I think it's selfmasteryquest.com. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, you can go to Ola Wolney, selfmasteryquest.com, to find her courses and webinars and stuff. But yeah, it's like talking about feminine alchemy and like the natural capacity of feminine alchemy beyond what we just know in this 3D matrix. It's just really potent information and how to get that feminine energy really flowing and embodied and getting it back online so that you have access to the other realms in ways you never have before. And it's very exciting. Yeah, and she's got all sorts of free YouTube content as well. In fact, is there a way I can share? Maybe I can just share the playlist that I created. I already have a playlist here. Let me just make sure it's public and not private. I think it's public because I sent it to Versha at one point. I better switch accounts and get on the right account. That would help. Okay, let me go to playlist. And Katie, we're getting to your question. I swear. Okay, hopefully you guys are here for the chatter. Chitter chatter. All right, I need to find Ola. Be back. MNO. I have way too many playlists. Okay, so it's private. Let me edit. I don't want to create a thumbnail with AI. I want to edit the playlist. Okay, visibility, public, save. Now I will copy said playlist, copy link. I'm going to go to us being live right now, right here, right now. Dun, 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 dun. Where are we? I found us. See, there I am. Found us. Okay. We do not need to hear the ad. Let's just pop this into Okay, that's a playlist. It's got like 14 different videos. I would, when I first discovered her stuff, it was really weird though because my main character's last name was Wolney, which I chose it because of the meaning of the word Wolney. And then I found Ola Wolney, and I'm like, this is just too coincidental to be a coincidence. I thought it was really cool. But anywho, there's that playlist. Did it show? Yes, there it is. Okay, so you guys can click that, save it to your playlist, or just check it out later if you feel so inclined. Amazing information. She's just a truth bomb of information. And I found her around the time of my rude awakening from the awakening. Her and Tony Sayers, and I actually found her through Tony Sayers. I don't align with everything or even most of what Tony Sayers says these days, but he was definitely helpful and a catalyst. Him and Shamanic Self, who was formerly Pleiadian healer. I found those two around the same day after I just had this rude awakening from the awakening, and it just really popped a whole bunch of stuff off for me. And Ola was part of that whole rude awakening from the awakening, but in a really good way. You saved it. Thank you. Awesome. All right, Katie, I hope you're still here. I hope I didn't put everyone to sleep with my dream talk. All right, we're going to go back over to Katie's question, which we were almost there, and then I got off on this long tangent. So apologies. Or let me rephrase that in a more feminine way. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, let me say, thank you so much for your patience. See, I'm practicing. I'm trying to be better. Okay. All right. Whoa, I didn't even read the question. We already have 3, maybe 4. Something flop out to the floor. I don't know. It's dark down there. I can't tell. I don't think so. Okay. So one came out in reverse. Okay. Is this a Stacy question? Because it's already tracking Stacy's energy here. Let's see. Hello. How is Amanda doing this fine day? I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Katie. She would like to know Stacy's current thoughts and feelings toward me as of lately, please. And I made her some homemade caramels. Oh, yum. And wrote her a small note with hand-painted flowers on it. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. I love that. Yeah, the cards want to talk. So yeah, we already can tell that her stuff with her husband's not 100% awesome. And then you got, very interestingly enough, 2 cards of balance. And just making things right, making things better, correcting something. I'm going to put these back just, maybe they were just popping out before we even read the question, but there they are. Let's technically now get into the question properly for you. Let's see Stacy's current thoughts and feelings toward Katie. Again, with the husband energy. This is not you. This is not you, by the way. It's weird because she always wants to start it out. It's like, karmically, she's very linked to the sky right now. But there's also this, I say karmically, but not in a bad way, that she's linked to you. And this does feel like past life energy that you guys were in a connection. I do see a male-female dynamic. She was the male, you were the female in that dynamic. And it's very interesting because energetically speaking, she feels like she's embodying the feminine energy in your friend dynamic, or ... whatever this could potentially be dynamic. And you're kind of holding more of the masculine traits to kind of reverse or role switch this up, because I see past lives where she will be more the masculine energy and she wanted to try something different, because you're usually the feminine energy for her in those masculine lifetimes for her. And there's wrongs being righted in this timeline, in this lifetime. But let's just see her current thoughts and feelings. She always wants to get deep with it, or like kind of like bring in, let me caveat this by saying ... and this and that. She is very much not just wanting to get to the point, because she wants to explain herself before getting to the point, if that makes sense. So let's just see her current thoughts and feelings toward Katie as of lately. Again. There's so many different things like keeping her away from you. And then there's the King of... Wow, these two... Oh, no, this is not the Justice. This is Hierophant. So the masculine in her life, her husband, has been kind of keeping her on her feet, keeping her busy, keeping her somehow energetically away from being able to just hang out with you, vibe with you, communicate with you in the way that she wants. So somehow her energy is being suppressed from you. Not to say that she doesn't want to hang out, can't hang out, won't hang out, or if she does communicate with you that, whatever. it's just like energetically, he's got her like locked down somehow. And it really does affect her happiness. Her feelings toward you, though, is more like a freedom, of the opposite of what he brings to the table for her. Just like fresh energy, fresh air, a breath of fresh air, something exciting, something fun, something like, I really want to see what happens here. And she's grateful. There's an element of gratitude coming through as well. But yeah, it's like you are the more stable, and I don't mean masculine, like you're like, no, just showing up, reaching out, initiating conversation, giving her gifts. That's what I mean by masculine. Hopefully you're not, I'm not meaning like, oh, you're acting very male. No, not in that way. It's energetically. And most women out here these days are very firmly in their masculine energy. Most of us, me included, like softening and getting back into feminine is like my goal. But what I'm getting with this is you feel like a safe container for her to be her true self, is what this is coming through as. And she sees that this can grow into something beyond what it currently is. So as far as the homemade caramels and the small note and hand-painted flower, let's just see how she felt about that. Aww. So we have, yeah, she's very in her feels. Just it really touched her heart because the strength is like spirit, internal feelings, thoughts, emotions, all this stuff. And this really is about feeling balanced or bringing that sense of balance. Where you have the Justice and the Six of Pentacles coming up, which are both cards about balance. And then you have the King of Cups, which is about emotional balance. So you really do balance her or help her feel more balanced in her own energy and not so like do or die, like everything, my whole life's a dumpster fire. Like you add the sun back into her like storm is really what this feels like, which is kind of a tall order for someone. Like you are literally the light in this storm that I call life. That's a tall order, but like also a great compliment. So she really is giving you a great compliment here with just that you are a very safe place for her. And very giving as well. And I do see this hard work paying off. So, you investing your time, your love, your attention toward her, it is going to pay off. Those investments that you're putting in will definitely pay off and pay the dividends of you getting to know her more, spending more time with her, building this friendship or ... maybe more eventually. But at the very least, you are cultivating someone who could be a lifelong friend that thinks very fondly of you. Yeah, you really light her up with new ideas, new inspirations. Of course, maybe the attraction that's kind of brewing there. Where a lot of times with her husband, it just feels like, ugh, I don't even want to have to entertain the thought of talking to you right now, but she does because he's there. And yeah, definitely indicating this past life connection. And it's very interesting. The Hierophant's coming out yet again. So this really does feel like there was some sort of soul contract between the two of you. It feels benign. It doesn't feel like, oh, we're going to become great friends and maybe more, and then it's all going to crash and burn. Like, no, not at all. This feels like a benign, good contract that you made. It may come at times where, her energy's pulled back or your energy's pulled back because life out here be life in, she's got a husband, you've got your whole life and, work and kid, and life gets busy. But this is basically indicating that even though things can be out of balance, because this is a card about like, okay, maybe you have all these balls you're juggling in the air right now. But if you even take one break or breather or whatever, one or more of those are going to come crumbling down. So all those cards about balance that you had, and he's literally also balanced on a ball to boot. So it's like all this balance that you bring to her, because she's so out of balance in a lot of ways that you just really, not to say you complete her, because she's whole and complete all on her own, but when she's with you, she feels like she can be her true self. Maybe not all at once, but like as your relationship evolves and blooms, she can be more and more herself. Where even with her own husband, she doesn't feel like she can be herself because she almost feels like it annoys him, or he doesn't appreciate it, or she just forgot how to be feeling safe. And it's not that he's an unsafe person, but what comes through is she's always like on guard. Like, what if he has a passive aggressive comment? What if I did that wrong and now he's upset? Like, she's very much on eggshells with him. That's what I mean about unsafe. She feels like even in her own home, even when she's, just with her and him, she's feeling a lot of times, not always, but a lot of the time, like she's walking on eggshells around him. And she doesn't feel that way about you. So it's interesting how she always wants to bring her husband in, energetically speaking, to compare how horrible he makes her feel most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. And then how great you make her feel most of the time. So it's like, she's trying to compare, like, in a way to let you know that she really does appreciate all these thoughtful gifts and things that you do for her. And just, you're just an amazing, bright light in her life that she doesn't have access to all the time. So keep on being your awesome self, Katie, because she appreciates it. And I do see her potentially reaching out to say, if she hasn't already, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gift. That was so sweet. Literally, because it was caramels. It was very sweet, but also tasty. All right, Kirsten. All right. So does Hassan have feelings for me, or is he just using me? Oh, no. All right, let's tune into Hassan's energy. Sounds like S rather has been like that, walking on eggshells all the time. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I mean, I would get in cycles like that with my husband. Like, what married couple doesn't have a season like that, right? But things have been so good lately with just feeling safe to just laugh and just not feel like I'm gonna, he had a hard day, but that doesn't mean I now have to take that energy on. Instead, I can let him deal with his own, like, stressful day, and I can still be bubbly and happy. Whereas before, this whole feminine, I don't know, for lack of a better word, feminine training, I don't know what it's called, the academy that I joined for this, I can allow him to be who he is without it, the empath in me to bring all that on or take all that on as mine. And then we're both sad and blah and miserable, right? Like, we don't need that. So me actually being able to stay in my bubbly, feminine, playful, flowy energy actually raises him up instead of us both crashing and burning together because I'm empathically trying to take that on when it's not even my burden to bear. Not that he's trying to get me to bear the burden, but, just as that empath, wanting to be the supportive wife, that trying to take that on even without, technically that is me being disrespectful because I'm trying to take a burden away from him that he never asked me to take, Not like I was purposely trying to disrespect him, but I think you get what I'm saying. So, like, we can all walk on eggshells in relation, not just love relationships, but all types of relationships. We can walk on eggshells from time to time, but yeah. All right. I don't want to end up used or hurt again. I'm so afraid that it's too good to be true. Right. Let's really tune into Hassan's energy and just see if he does have true feelings for you. I'm already getting a better vibe. Yeah. And it may not be, this could even be just old wounds and stuff and just like, oh, too good to be true. What if? And one really great way that you can know the difference between you feeling intuitively like, okay, this is too good to be true, or you're wounding trying to speak through, your thoughts or whatever, would be to just do a clearing, a cord cutting, cord clearing, cord pulling, pull it out by the roots, all the fun things that I always talk about, from anything that is standing in the way of your love life, and being very clear, crystal clear, like Ace of Swords energy of who is this person? What are their, intentions? But we can ask too, because I'm mostly getting that this is just past trauma and just past, energy that's still kind of floating around in your energy field from past loves, even unrequited loves, or just the frustration of, just recent dating endeavors and stuff that weren't really working out. Just clearing the deck, shaking that Etch-a-Sketch, just clearing it out. But let's just see his intentions toward you. Hassan's intentions. Hassan, I hope I'm saying that right. Hassan's, does he have feelings? Oh, there's our Ace of Swords. I was wanting this. I'm like, yes, bring it. You're going to be very clear. I'm seeing within the next 2 weeks, there's going to be red flags or green flags. I'm really seeing green flags though. So even over these next 2 weeks, these flags are going up, red or green, whatever color. um, and this really is, um, you're gonna know. Like, you're gonna know. You're not even gonna need me at all. I got a reading from one of my favorite psychics about us, and it was not good, so I've been worried. Okay. This is what's coming up, though, with you and Hassan's energy. I see, like, green flags, but I'm also seeing this maybe lack of, not like lack of attraction, like, there's attraction, but it's not, like, lasting attraction that can just keep going. It feels like it's very, what's coming to my mind is, like, Knight of Swords or even Knight of Wands, like, ooh, hot and heavy, like, it's very exciting, and then it just kinda dies out all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. And I'm really actually seeing this on your end, not so much him, but you're kinda like, I don't know, maybe I'm not really in love or kinda going toward that in love with him. It's more friendly than anything. Um, yeah, invoking the divine fire does help a lot with that clearing. One thing that bothers me is he doesn't really flirt with me. Okay, there you go. And that just me that's kind of like something tuning into your energy, Kirsten. That's something that you love. Like when someone's flirting with you and you know that they're like into you. That's something that you're like, okay, they're into me. Now I can, open myself up to trust and believe that okay, now I can be into them. And you're just not getting that from him. And you deserve that because when you fall in love or whatever, you want the knowing that this person does desire me. And you're not really, even if he truly does, you're not getting the hint of it because it's not showing up in his energy field. Yeah, it's showing up as, I tick all the right boxes, but like that spark just isn't there the way that it could be. He's nice, but I don't feel like he's sexually attracted to me. Yeah. And that's what, let's see if it's on his end. Yeah, it's like something's lacking or he's trying because he likes you as a person. That's like coming across very clearly. But as far as the attraction, it's like he does have that attraction because this is an attraction card, especially with sexuality, sexual attraction. Um, but it's like he doesn't know how to express it. And a lot of his own, again, I'm trying not to trigger the algorithm by saying the sex word too many times, but his own sexuality, um, he's suppressed it in some ways. I don't know if this is due to religion, personal beliefs, or what, but there's some, I would maybe even go out on a limb and say trauma for him associated with sexuality. Not that he was, abused in that way, but that he was maybe told that, okay, this is wrong in a relationship. You can't do this until marriage, or you can't do this unless dot dot dot. Like it feels very much transactional or like if you do this then this happens, if this happens then this happens. Something he was, I guess for lack of a better word, brainwashed about how to show up not just sexually but like romantically, in a way to flirt. um like he wasn't given the proper, not that there is a proper, I mean it's all society standards or whatever, but according to society standards he didn't quite get the memo on how to date a woman, how to treat a woman, how to flirt. Also, he doesn't ask me much beyond the surface conversations. Yeah. And that isn't going to do it for you. So that might be where the red flags come in, is just, it's not going as deep as some of these relationships need to go for them to continue to grow and glow and go. Um, Not that he's a bad person, not that he has bad intentions. It's just, he doesn't know how to show it in a way. Yeah, again, he doesn't know how to show it in a way that's going to be satisfying for you for the long run. So you can kind of just play it small, play it slow, play it by ear for now, for a while, and just see where things go. But I do see you actually being the one to kind of like, oh, this is kind of boring. I'm out. Like we can be friends, but like I'm not feeling it. Because he's like a what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, which really has nothing to do with this, but it's coming through for whatever reason. I'm seeing Kevin from The Office. This is an episode of The Office when they had the CPR lady come in, and he's just like pumping the dummy, just trying to do the Heimlich, not the Heimlich, the chest compressions for CPR. And after like 20 seconds, he's like, "Call it." Like you're the one doing the chest compressions, and Hassan's energy is like this dummy that's just kind of laying there like, Are we in a relationship? You deserve better is really what's coming through. Friend material or just kind of acquaintance hits all the boxes for sure. But as far as you feeling desired and fulfilled and satisfied in a romantically attracted connection, I don't see that he's going to be it for you in that regard. And he may have some financial issues, but like a lot of people do. So that's not like a red flag. But there just may be something deeper than what he's expressed to you as far as any kind of financial like debt that he may have. Or I see maybe investments that went wrong for something that he maybe lost a lot of money. If he's not in debt, maybe he had lost a lot of money, something along those lines. I'm not getting like a clear, like this is exactly what happened, but energetically, and that's fine with me because I don't like to personally pry into people's finances, without their permission. So like, I'm cool with that. So something financially just isn't adding up. Not that he's lied to you outright or anything, but that could be it. Yeah. So again, not that he's a bad person. It's just, he may intend to try to make this a connection so he can get married and have things go down in that regard, but he's not doing it from that attracted place. It's more of a business arrangement is kind of what it feels like energetically. I like the way I feel about him. I feel very attracted, but he just says I'm cute and I'm just like eye roll. Right. And when you're attracted to someone or you're hoping they're attracted to you, you don't want to hear, oh, you're cute. You want to hear, holy crap, girl, you are fire. You are hot. You are sexy. You are desirable. You are just smoking. I don't know, words, better words than cute for sure. I mean, cute's not horrible, but it's like keeping someone at arm's length or at a distance. Yeah, you want to hear words that kind of light you up, And even some of these jokers out here will be using these words, even if they don't fully mean it, just so they can, get that one thing that not all guys, but a lot of guys are out here on these kind of first, second, third, fourth, fifth dates trying to get. You know what I'm talking about. Sexuality. Even those guys will use those words, even if they don't mean them. So that's the thing. Even if he was using these words, something you would feel that maybe he's not genuine. He's not using these words though, because it's like it was repressed. Like growing up, like he was had to be very subdued or keep it all in a box, private. Don't be talking about these things. Don't be showing these things. Don't be expressing these things. Like it was very repressed for him. So those people can go kind of one of two ways. They can come out of that box when they, move on from their family or whatever and just be like doing it with everybody and just shouting the sexuality from the rooftops. Or you can just kind of stay repressed and then it comes out like with PRON addictions or even things that are maybe even worse than that. Or if he's got really good self-control, it can just be that he's just very subdued in that department. And if the sex factor is important to you in a relationship, I don't see that the compatibility would last very long because it's almost like, again, he's the CPR dummy and you're Kevin doing the CPR. Like, something happening here? Call it. Like, after a while, you're going to get tired of doing the emotional labor, the physical labor, the mental labor of trying to keep the connection alive. And you deserve better than that, You're making me laugh. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to watch that episode again. And then Dwight like cuts the face off the dummy and he wears it like all Hannibal Lecter or whatever. He's all oh my gosh. If you don't watch The Office, just look up Kevin Malone, CPR, Dwight, dummy mask. I don't know. Those keywords would bring up probably like a 3-minute clip of the episode because it all happens all like boom, boom, boom. And it's the first time, second time, third time, probably fourth time I watch that, I cackle, like deeply cackle every time because it's hilarious. But especially the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Hilarious. I love The Office. I think it's, I have not watched any shows at all since movies since, well, I did watch one movie this summer. We went to the theater and watched, what was it? The new Despicable Me with the kids. That's the last movie I watched that I know of. I have seen little tidbits of movies, like maybe like when the kids were sick, they would watch, oh gosh, what's the name of that movie? It's on Netflix, and it's this 16-year-old girl that goes on, like, this boat journey all by herself for, like, a long time. It's something Spirit. I saw part of that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I probably need to watch this whole movie, it's really good." But I saw bits and pieces of it because I had to leave and go, um, get Boston from school because Wrigley was home from school that day, sick, watching that movie. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, it'd be fun, a fun one to watch, and it probably would still be on Netflix. But anyway, yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV or movies, but I'm feeling like maybe I should just start having The Office in the background again. Just it's like a comfort show for me. I've seen the first probably 3 or 4 seasons, probably 9 times through, and then the later seasons, maybe those really, like, season 8, season 9, I've probably only seen 3 times, probably. But, I mean, to go from season 1 through 9 is, like, you're talking months of your life if you're watching, a few episodes a night. But I've been doing more reading and just hanging out with my husband and, playing with the dogs out now that it's getting later. You can play with the dogs in the yard in the evening a little bit. And now we're in sports ball season, so there's going to be no TV watching at least until summer at this point. But yeah, I love The Office. It's fun. It's a good comfort show. I know a lot of people that have Friends as a comfort show, and I've seen Friends all the way through once. And it used to be on, like, I think it was TBS or one of those channels back in the day when I would watch cable TV, just have something on in the background. I used to be that guy that I needed something on in the background just to listen to, even if I wasn't watching it, like the comfort of it. But since my awakening in 2016, I can't do that anymore. If it's on, unless it's the kids' stuff that I don't have any interest in, that's fine, whatever. They can do what they do. But I just, if I'm hearing something, I like want to be engaged with it, or at least listening to it in some capacity. If I'm folding laundry and listening, or doing adult coloring books and listening, whatever. Like I want to be more actively engaged in either listening and watching both. I don't know. Oh, do watch The Gorge, Jupiter Ascending, and The Time. Ooh, The Time. I don't know if I've heard of that one. I would love to watch The Time. It has Justin Timberlake. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I've heard of The Time. Maybe I have. Is that where time is weird and it's like going backwards, or they switch timelines or something? Maybe I did hear something about that. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But yeah, I have some of these. The Gorge you told me about last week, I think, maybe the week before. Cha-Cha's here. Hi, Cha-Cha. I just saw you in the chat. Yeah, I definitely need more time to like be able to do things, because it's like during the day, like I don't ever think, if I do have some free time, I'm usually making candles, throwing the ring outside for my dogs. Well, usually one of them chases it and then she chases him. So he's the retriever, she's the chaser after him, and then they tug with the toy between them. Yeah, I fill my day with a lot of stuff that it doesn't ever occur to me like, hey, I should watch a movie. Like I just don't have that too much of a chunk of time ever, unless it's like in the evening or bath time. And usually that's like bath time. Although I probably could watch it on Netflix on my phone during bath time. But a lot of my bath time is usually taken up by my meditations, my cleansing, my clearing, all that spiritual, tuning into my heart, all the fun things. And then if I have time, I might watch, a 20-minute YouTube thing on my playlist, because usually my whole like spiritual cleansing and meditation routine takes me like an hour and a half. Like I go in. And then if I have like, oh, the water's still warm, let me just watch a quick YouTube video. Something like that. Or I'll listen to a lot of music in the bath. I don't know why. It's weird. I listen to a lot of music in the bath and in the car. But I usually don't listen to music just randomly, like washing dishes or something. Usually I'm listening to a podcast or, catching up, listening rather than watching my YouTube playlist of to watch. Yeah, so Yep, your baths are the same. Yeah. Oh, everyone wears a watch and you have to level up to get more time to live. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, the time on their watch is the amount of time they can live. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. I think I do need to put that on my list to watch. No pun intended, to watch. Marlene, we have a donation from Marlene, so let's get into that. Thanks again, Kirsten. I know I kind of went off on a tangent at the end there, but it feels to me, Kirsten, like you can somehow feed this connection to where you can kind of have him come out of his shell, but it feels to me like it's going to be a lot more emotional labor than it needs to be. And it feels like a much more of a fixer upper relationship. Not that he's a bad person. I can feel he has a good heart. He's a nice person. He ticks a lot of good boxes, and the attraction for you on your part is there. I do see he has that attraction for you, but he just has a really weird way of showing it. So do you want to have to put in all that labor to get it to be what you want? Or do you want something that's just going to, like, out of the gate, just organically just be, I'm vibing with you, you're vibing with me. Let's make it sexuality. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. Ah. I mean, to be fair though, I mean, throughout history, and it's probably just these last 200 years or so that romantic love was even a concept, because before, a lot of, and even to this day, there are arranged marriages. There are people who will go and do like a compatibility, like birth chart before marrying someone, and only marrying someone who they have like a good business dealing with. Yeah, it's just basically in these past 200 years, not to say that, 500, 810, 1,000 years ago, that people weren't falling in love, that sure, but most connections were of convenience, or uh transactional, or hey, uh for many centuries now, it's at least in our recorded history that they've given us, a lot of females were passed directly from their family they were born into to their husband. And if they didn't have a husband, they had to stay with the family they were born into, because women weren't allowed to go out and work and make their own way and be independent and all things. Um, so really, romantic love is kind of a more, I guess, new concept, although it's always existed. I mean, there's always been attraction, and I mean, it's instinctual that we're attracted to someone or we're not, right? Not saying that hasn't been a thing, it has, but yeah, as far as marrying for love, because I mean, back in the day, you had to marry who you had to marry, even if you were attracted to, Joe Blow, 40, road streets down the road, streets down the road, houses down the road. Yeah, more about convenience back in the day, but I guess we're living in interesting times where we can marry for love, and also have it work out financially, and with everything. But then there's really high divorce rate as well, but I guess that's just our freedom of choice at play. Hi, Amanda. What can I focus on and do in order to level up my life, spiritually or in general? Whatever wants to come through. Okay, one card pull, but you guys know me. It's never just one card. How is Marlene level up? Actually, I pulled this one out today. Sometimes when I go between calls at my other job, I'm like scanning my shelves, like looking for decks I haven't used in a hot minute, and it's been a hot minute on this bad boy. So let's start here. The Raise Your Vibration Oracle. So how Marlene, in order for her, what can she focus on in order to level up her life, spiritually or in general? Just whatever needs to come through. This one wants to come through. Ooh, your sensitivity is a gift. And these cards are so thick. I'm like, is this 1, 2, 3, 4 cards? I don't know. I think it's just one. So sensitivity, you're sensitive, meaning you're already spiritually tuned in. And that is a gift. In this 3D reality, it can feel very much not like a gift, because you feel too much, you feel too deeply, you sense things other people don't sense. So what you can focus on is really getting into your body, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. When you get downloads or have certain dreams, just really being in the present moment. And not just being in the present moment, but really embodying your essence, your spirit in the human body, feeling, how does the wind on my skin feel as I walk to my car? How, am I cold right now? Am I hungry? Do I need to use the bathroom? Just really feeling into your body and using all of your senses, yes. But also, I see you focusing on if anything catches your interest, like, ooh, I want to study up or learn about the third eye or the Ulta Major or Zeal chakra, mouth of God chakra that's at the back of the neck. Um, Anything that kind of comes into your awareness, either as a thought or a feeling, follow that up. It feels to me like very much a spiritual focus as it feels very clairvoyant, very much cerebral, but it's not like the information's coming from your head or from your thoughts. It's coming from spirit. You're first feeling it in the heart and then using your brain to interpret it. That's at least how my clairvoyance comes in. Yeah, I feel it as more a feeling at first, and then it kind of gains tendrils of, you know, what's the word? Like substance, I guess, to me then use my analytical brain to, okay, I'm seeing a picture of this. It feels like this. What about the color purple? Just random things coming in. So kind of just trust your intuition and don't be so rigid as far as, unless you have like, you bought a course or, you're reading a book to learn more about X, Y, or Z. Of course, you can be more systematic about approaching it in that way. But just allow your intuition or the way you're feeling in your body or what you're interpreting with your senses to kind of lead the way for you. All right, let's go to the Life Purpose Oracle and see if there's any additional guidance. I do try to be less analytical because I am very that way. Yeah, and Gemini moon, Libra rising, a lot of air. My also North Node, Jupiter, and Pluto are also in those two air signs as well. So I got a lot of activity going on where I just want to bring everything up. Like the second I get like a spiritual download or insight, I'm like almost instantly wanting to come out of my meditation so I can like, ooh, let me pick it apart. Let me get my magnifying glass and use my detective skills and pick it apart analytically. And it's like, I'm trying so hard not to do that so much anymore. I want to just stay in the heart, stay in the intuition, stay in the body, and really embody whatever it is that's coming through before I start trying to analyze it and pick it apart. Yes, I still do that. But look, getting in the heart. Look at that. Heart's desires. And it says the angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. But this is really about getting out of the head, getting into the heart. And again, that's very feminine energy. So maybe you are learning more about feminine energy or how to embody your feminine energy. And a great place to start would be that playlist we shared earlier, Ola Wolny. She talks all about how the feminine is rising. But then you have options. So there are many different things that maybe you are kind of your point of focus. I would say maybe pick 2 or 3 at the most to focus on at any given time. And that's me as who I am. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different notebooks with different types of notes. This is my course. I call this one my course notebook because a lot of the different courses I will take notes in this notebook. And I've taken quite a few different courses from all sorts of places. So maybe even writing things down. It's weird though. I'll write all this stuff down, and unless it's like a process of something, like when I would do like writing out the steps for my reversal spell candles and stuff, like I would refer back in that case, or like, oh, what was that one thing? What were like the tips to be able to do X, Y, or Z? And then maybe I'll go and reference it back, but it's not like every week I'm going back through my notebooks and being like, oh, let me reread all of this information. But like, writing down like exercise, energy clearing and visualization, psychic attacks and protection. So I mean, I only write down the things I try to anyway, that I know I'm gonna maybe potentially reference back, and I write them in such a way that I can kind of follow my notes to where it all doesn't just look like words blurring together. What's even on this page? I don't even want to read it. Like trying to color code it or kind of give it headings so I know what I'm looking for, what I'm looking at. And I don't know why I'm showing you all this, but I guess you need to know. So here we're going in. There we go. And I even have a table of contents because knowing my scattered mind, I need it. So these are the courses and what page. I even just wrote the little pages in the bottom here. Like, I didn't get that far, but like I'm up to page 11, 13. Yeah. Yeah, look on the bottom. You are the holder of the Holy Grail. The feminine womb space is the Holy Grail. I mean, it's even shaped like a chalice, right? It is the Holy Grail. Anything else? Let's go back to the Raise Your Vibration deck. Anything else Marlene can focus on? I've tried having notebooks. It doesn't work much for me, and that's okay. This could just be one example of something that works. Maybe you are doing some other system, or remembering things in a different way, or maybe you just have like a routine you do for your spiritual practices, and that's all the structure you need. That whatever comes through during your spiritual practice, you showing up for your spiritual practice can be the container from which to hold your notes or your ideas or your thoughts or whatever that may be. All right. Anything else from Marlene before we close out? Boom. We have my high vibes heal the world. Giving Saturn vibes here with the rainbow ring around it. But I'm seeing this as a cleansing energy. So you really do have this cleansing energy that other people really may take advantage of sometimes. That's what's coming through. So one of the sensitivities that's coming through that's going to benefit you is realizing when certain people, even your kids, can become little energy vampires at times. Like, been there, done that. Or your spouse, or your parents, your friends, people that you love near and dear and would never want to cut out of your life can sometimes just maybe use up a little more of your energy than you want them to. So this is where it's going to become pretty important, I guess, for you to set boundaries or just let people know, a certain friend that, maybe you want to hang out for that hour, but that hour becomes 4 hours and you're like, gotta go. And then they keep pulling you back in like, oh, one more conversation, like respecting your time and then teaching others to respect your time, your energy as well. And this doesn't just have to be friends. It could be people you live with, friends, family, coworkers, whoever, whatever. So specific boundaries, especially with your energy, are going to be important to focus on at this time as well. But yeah, there is definitely a spiritual level up. I think so many of us right now have almost no choice. It's like, if we're not going to detonate that tower for ourselves, it's going to be detonated for us at this point, spiritually, energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things. So it's best if we just roll up our sleeves and say, okay, I'm ready. What work do we need to do? And many of you that are here, you're already doing that. So it's not like some big tower moment's coming for you. You're coming for it. More like it. All right. Where was this? Over here somewhere? I don't even know. I think it was right there. Okay. Oh, Versha donated. Okay. Well, hope that resonated for you, Marlene. Okay, 1 card pull for Versha. Put that back there. I made a huge mess of my table over here, but oh well. That's a problem for future me. You're so welcome. Absolutely. All right. I feel I am embodying more of my oversoul cosmic galactic version of me, or the I am presence. But I feel that there is something I have to tackle or let go of to fully align with that new version. So I would like some guidance from the true, pure, organic, cosmic source creation energy, if my thought is right, and what it is that I have to do. Okay. So this is a 1 card pull. And then also a yes, no for something for Kashvi. Okay. All right. Yes. So there's something about getting out of the head and getting into the heart again. Clearing energies, maybe even doing, this can be, I do this multiple times a day at this point, just because it's become a habit for me that it's easy. I do this because when I take my kids to school, I do all these like energetic protections around them while they're at school. I clear their cords so they're not negatively impacting anyone else either. I don't want my kids to be the bullies. I don't want my kids getting bullied either. So I clear all that. And then as I drive home from my last stop, which is Wrigley, I just naturally will go in and clear anything because, Gemini moon, I don't need any help with outside entities coming in and giving me like 4 thoughts all, overlaying each other all at once. And then me getting my energy super scattered by the time I get home. So I will just go in and I almost feel like it's plucking out all these like stray hairs of just random thoughts that do not need to be in my energy field. And I do this probably 4 different times a day. I do it as if there's anything I'm cooking, like I'll do this as I cook. I'm not like sitting here doing this, but like energetically speaking, I'm kind of centering myself, connecting with my breath, really feeling it in my energy field. And usually, especially those days that I have a migraine coming on, I notice those are the days that I'm not as diligent about clearing this out. So it's really coming through. This feels like outside interference, but of course, outside interference can only come in if we have something it can attach to, so to speak. So if you go to the root cause of it, clear what's trauma, wound, portal opening, whatever it is that is allowing these entities access to you to begin with, if you address it at the root, they're just kind of like little fleas bouncing off. But so many of us have these like embossed, that's the word coming through. I would not have said that purposely. I would have said encoded. But embossed is what I'm hearing. Okay, because, oh, wow. Okay, I'm getting a huge download. So when something's encoded, you can't really, I mean, unless you know the source code to go in and decode and deconstruct the code of something that's encoded into something. Like, think of it this way. A seed is encoded with the information of the type of plant it needs to become. Even if it looks like this other seed, this other seed, this other seed, when you plant those, grow them up, they're all going to look vastly different, even if they look very similar as a seed. But what I'm hearing is these implants potentially were embossed. Now, if you emboss something, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like a stamp, like when you go in to get something notarized and they like stamp the paper, not like it's like an ink stamp, but like it compresses the paper between like two metal plates to emboss the paper. Like it puts a stamp in the paper, like raises the paper and kind of indents the paper. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. But that's what's coming through is there's something that was embossed in your DNA. So it was like impressed into the DNA. It's not actually woven into the code, which this is good news. This is even easier to clear. So what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, and it's very interesting because I was pulling this out kind of leading up to your question. I think this was for you, not for Marlene so much, but for you. Remind me if you bought the is it Exiting the Matrix course? Unplug Yourself from the Matrix course from Shamanic Self. That's what's coming through. There's a module in there. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize this. This is all adding up. So unplug yourself from the Matrix and the Matrix machine. It's very important to plug yourself from the machine, cords, hooks, realities. Parts of your energetic body and soul pieces, past lives, are hooked in. They are using pieces of you to make robots. Put your intention to bring back your soul pieces, but cleansed and fully restored. And do this visualization. It's module number 1 in Unplug from the Matrix course. So do that module if you can. And then also this one's also coming up like, ding, 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 we have a winner. Remove nets, sacks, things blocking your energy field and business. Use a rolling pin to roll up the matrix code and programming, fog, etc., to throw it into a fire. Cut any nets or sacks open and throw into the fire. Pull off spider webs and burn them off of you, your home, business, etc. Pull any plugs that are stopping up your flow of abundance or blocking you or your business. So, you've been working on those for the past few days. So, I mean, you're kind of already doing what you were asking. What should I be doing? Because these feel like mental. Because look, we got the thought cloud, the thought bubble. Mental. They're hooking in mentally. So it's embossed in your energy, meaning you can unemboss it or like even that out. And it's very interesting. She said rolling pin. I mean, this is her, Laura from Pleiadian Healer. I took notes from her words from her modules. She uses a rolling pin to not roll something out, but to roll up the matrix and then cast it into the fire. But I'm actually seeing that you can almost use that rolling pin analogy to unemboss these like nefarious energies, hooks, however they've gotten into your DNA. Yeah, check it out. Or even just follow the guidance that, I think it's kind of straightforward here, but I think she does have a meditation that goes along with that module that's like maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes. They're usually not too long. So you can kind of do them relatively quickly. All right. Okay. Oh, and then look what fell to the floor. The 10 of Swords. So from the 9 of Swords to the 10 of Swords, so you'll make progress, and then this is the ending. You'll be able to clear certain things that can't ever hook in again. Wow. Yeah, that's powerful. And that'll allow that ion presence to come through even greater, because there's nothing that these entities, these thought forms, these jinn, whatever it is that's coming in, can hook to, because you're clearing it, you're cleansing it. You're clearing first their energy and then restoring your energy as well, with just those 2 little modules out of that unplugging from the matrix course. Okay. Also, yes, no. Is it a good idea to connect with the other principal to ask if she will take Kashfi? Yes. Yes, do it. Do it. Did she talk to the superintendent? Let's see if she talked to the superintendent. Okay. I'm seeing that there may have been communication about it, and this is a very exciting thing. If she hasn't already reached out with your prompting, it looks like they can make something happen. Wow. This is a return to the past or nostalgia. So she may be returning to the school. Very exciting. Look at this, though. A lot of good energy here. A lot of good energy. So yes, it is in your best interest to connect with that principal and ask if she will take Kashfi. And then if she hasn't talked to that superintendent already, your connection to her will prompt that to happen. And then she will be able to return to that school. And of course, set that intention, because what we dwell on, where we dwell, we're living, right? Where we pay attention, spend our time thinking about, we will create or manifest that. So envision, even if you don't know what the principal office looks like, you don't have to go that much in detail, but envision the principal getting the message, being very optimistic and like wanting to help you, passing that information to the superintendent wanting to do what's right for Kashfi, which is bringing her back to the school, and everything going smoothly. And then maybe picture you dropping her off on the first day of school next school year at that school again. Picture the outcome. Live from the wish fulfilled. Yes. So rather than directly asking her, I was thinking of sending her Kashfi success in science fair. There you go. That could definitely help. Yeah. Get a plan. Figure out a plan, a game plan. Not to say that they wouldn't take Kashfi just as is, but, if you want to kind of bump up some of these accolades that she's received, that's good. That would be good. And I would even let them know that she has struggled with math, not because it's the vibe is just different. I don't know. However, you can explain to them that she just does so much better at this school. I mean, not to say that it's like, oh, she's slacking. It's the school. The school is just not a good fit for her, the one she's currently at. But that older school, so much better. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, usually in person can be more personable, and you can get that more emotional connection with someone about something that means something to you. It's usually much better done, those tough or important conversations in life, they are usually much better had in person. I would say that. But if that's the case, maybe get, with that planning card we got, the 2 wands, write out some talking points. Cause if you're anything like me in person, I can get nervous, if I'm meeting a principal, or, someone that, there's a lot riding on the decision here that's what you want so bad, is Kashfi to go back to this really amazing school. So that nervous energy of, oh, I really want this outcome, I could forget what I want to say. So if you can have a little bullet point list of, from point A to point G or whatever, how many points you want to make, so you don't forget your talking points, and just have a little Post-it note with your notes on it. So you don't forget what you want to say, can help ease that nervousness, and help you be a more clear communicator on what it is you're looking for, and her to pass that information along. Yeah. All right. Because I do see a really good outcome here. Meeting with her would definitely be good. Yeah. So I don't know if there's a way you could set up a meeting. Just email her and say, would it be possible if I could meet with you to talk, just spell it out in an email, I'm sure, at first. And I mean, in all the years Boston's been going to like like a public school since 2015, and he had 2 years of like pre-K and preschool before that. But yeah, so since 2015, that's 10 years now. Oh my God. My kid is getting old. So he's been in the school system now for 10 years. And we've never had to go to any principal or anything yet. So I don't even know, like the only real and me growing up, I never went to the principal. So the only real knowledge I have on that is from movies or books that I've read. Like I read a lot of young adult or YA books where they talk about oh, the going to the principal's office. It's usually not a good thing, but I'm getting a really good vibe with this though. Yeah, I was planning first to write her for an appointment and not just drop in randomly. Yeah, I think that's really the way to go. And I've met the principal from earlier school when we were moving to request her to keep Kashfi. Gotcha. Yeah, I would just explain whatever it is you want to explain. And I would try to keep it, instead of trying to explain every little thing that's happened, and try to keep it to the main points that are the most potent or packing the most punch. Because I know like a lot of principals or superintendents or they usually maybe give you 15 minutes to talk with them. It's not really that long. At least like parent teacher conferences, I think are like 15 minutes. Like you got to get in and get out. So I would say, think of your most intense talking points and get those out, and stick to the facts of things. And yeah, current principal is not very open. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And she has a very open heart. Yeah. And because she is more open-hearted, I think you will most likely get the outcome you're looking for, because she's going to try harder than someone who's just like, oh, who cares? You're out of district. Sorry, bye. If this one has an open heart, it really does feel like there can be a really good positive outcome for you and for Kashfi as well. So yeah, and celebration on the back of the deck. Happy home, happy school, happy everything. So yes. And looks like Boston. Okay. Boston's currently at the university golf course with three of his friends. And Ryan is just slightly down the block at the baseball fields for Wrigley's practice. It looks like Boston just finished, and Ryan's going to go pick him up. Because I'm like, if I finish before 8, I could potentially pick you up. But if it's after 8, which it is, then he's going to pick him up from the field. So I am off the hook from having to play chauffeur after my live stream tonight. Just in the nick of time, because I'm technically pretty much done now, right? I think. Make sure I don't have any other donations. Nope, we are caught up. Would you just remind me of the 2 modules? Yes, let's do that. They were, drum roll please. So it was in the Unplug Yourself from the Matrix and Matrix Machine course. And this looked like it, where I wrote from the Unplug Yourself from the Matrix and Matrix Machine module, do the visualization. It's module number 1 in the Unplug from the Matrix course. Okay. So module 1, and I'm going to assume module 2 is right below it, because I did the modules in order. Yeah, which is remove nets, sacks, and things blocking your energy field and business. Yeah. And I don't think there was 40 modules in that course or anything. So they hopefully should be pretty easy to find and straightforward. But those tuning in, those seem like the most relevant to helping you just really be able to connect your I am presence by just clearing, of course, first the root cause of what's going on. And then, of course, as that kind of counterattack to the entities locking in. Oh, module 3. Okay, so maybe I just wrote it wrong. Probably. Yeah. Because we can always be on defense. That's for sure. We can be defense, but playing offense is you getting to the root cause of anything that these entities can hook into, which is why I love Raylene, because she can just clear a lot of that. Maybe one session doesn't get to the root, but it definitely peels back more layers than your average person can peel back in that amount of time. Yeah. Absolutely. Although it was really interesting, I want to say it was about a week. No, it was Saturday. So not even a week ago, in my bath meditation. the amount of stuff I cleared. I'll show you what meditation I did, but I had to keep pausing the meditation because she's like, let's do a body scan in the meditation. And I just like something, my I am presence took over and is like, holy cow, look at all this dust and dirt and cobwebs and debris that we just do not need. A matrix embossing. Yeah. And that's funny because in my head, I was trying to say encoded because that's what I was thinking. And then embossing came out. And that's not a word that you hear every day or that I even use on a yearly basis, let alone just randomly. So yeah, that's very interesting. Let me see. What was I going to look up? I was going to look up something. I think. I was going to look up some. Oh, the meditation. Thank you. Thank you, Mind, for reminding me. The meditation that I did on Saturday that something blew the doors. It was like a heart wall meditation. Again, really trying to tune into my heart. And it's difficult when you got all these heart walls that we all tend to have. Not saying we can't tune in with those heart walls. We can totally trip the system and get to our heart. So just because you have heart walls or trauma or wounds or trapped emotions or, all these things doesn't mean you can't have access to your I am or your true spirit or whatever. You can. It's just more difficult and harder to sustain for a long amount of time when you got all this trauma and wounding and just debris. It's not undoable though. You can do it. We're all proof of that. We can all tune in from time to time. I'm trying to find the exact one. I saved a few of them, so I might have to, let's see. Was it this one? I think it was this one. Okay, lady or guy. Skip the ad. Okay. Is this it? That one just sounds like music. Oh, it's an energy activation. Okay, that's not the right one. Maybe it was this. Was it? Oh, I think it was this one.
Silently repeat to yourself.
Make sure.
I release the past.
Or it could be this one.
Relationship, you'll add.
Okay. So it's one of these two. I can't tell right off, but it's either heart healing guided meditation with Ashley here or open heart healing guided meditation for emotional, I think, release is what that one says. Meditation with Haven with Awake and ... something. But I think if you type those two things in, that would come up. Let's see. Yeah. Check history. Let me see. Going back in time. Okay. All right. I play a lot of subliminals and stuff in the background, so I'm like scrolling. Where is it? I don't even know what day I'm at. Let me see the date. Come on. Oh, man. You can do it. Where is it? And I also listen to a lot of music the past few days. And there's Carrie K. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I fell asleep with my music on and I woke up at like 3 a.m. with an ad. Okay, well. Why isn't it showing up? Is it because I just clicked on it? Yeah, I've been in like a Deftones and anything Chino Moreno related songs lately. Oh my gosh. this song by Team Sleep, it's Chino Moreno's one of his side projects. Team Sleep, Natalie Portman Extended. Before the song, all the way up until he starts singing, it takes me to like another realm. And then he starts singing and kind of, but then when the music really picks up, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes in, I'm like, okay, I'm over it. Like, let me just go back to the beginning because this took me to another world. It's beautiful. Sad though, too, but beautiful. Yeah, I would say check out either one of those, Versha. They were both good. I did both of them back to back, but one of them I'm like, whoa, something's happening here. I cleared thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of just stuff. And I got a download during all of that. This is something, those of you that are here, if you want to do it, you can do it. Normally I'll put it in that kind of trash can fire of source, or just, bring that like kind of flame shower down. It doesn't burn. Much like my dream, I did not get burned. There was no flame though in the dream, which was interesting. But I had this like cauldron, and I kept throwing like all these nets and sacks and hooks and barbs and my own toxicity just into this cauldron. Anything that belonged to anyone else, whether they were negative toward me or not, like I sent them with love back their energy for them to integrate. Like they can deal with it. I sent it all back to who it belonged to, and anything that was like entities and just whatever, they don't get a say. Like they're not incarnated here. They don't get a say. So I alchemized all that, sent it back to source, obviously. And then anything that was mine that was just off or shadow or, whatever, transmuted it, alchemized it. And then in the download, I am like came down and dumped the cauldron of like pure liquid gold over my head, and it just almost encased me, almost like are they the Emmy Awards? The golden statue Emmy Award, like that's what I looked like. Just all this golden energy, and then it like seeped into my skin and reintegrated as something useful. All my toxicity was transformed into something useful again, which is interesting because I had just brought this book and these different books by John Creeder that I always talk about. He says basically you can pull negative energy right out of the atmosphere, or go to any big box store or grocery store or hospital, or even just basically walk down the street in any town. You're going to be able to have a plethora, or if there was an argument in your house earlier that day, plethora of negative energy to draw from. Just pull it into the cauldron with that reverse breathing that he talks about in here, and then you alchemize, transmute it into usable or positive energy, or at very least neutral, that you can use it to create things or to have more energy for yourself. Yeah, same thing. I work with the divine fire element, and the fire next to me as well. Whatever works, frankly. That's awesome. Yes. I too love working with fire. I do it through a lot of candles, or just that like sacred source flame. And I have that garbage can of source flame that just, sends it all back. Wow, I saw the same thing yesterday after I did the entity clearing. The gold light went into me and brought all the density out as golden gum down to earth. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So maybe that's just like a thing that's happening now, is we have access to like liquid gold. Like, it was kind of sticky, not like in a bad way, but it just kind of coated my whole body. But then it just absorbed and soaked in. So it wasn't like, energetically speaking, I was all sticky with this golden residue or anything. It just integrated. Very interesting. That's very interesting that we both had like a golden like liquidy gummy energy coming in. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm really feeling the gold, and it's funny because I kind of use my spirit and my twin flame, whatever we want to call it, to help me. So I basically got the color scheme in the download, and it's like, okay, now just paint. Like I didn't know what I was setting out to paint. So I just started, and I use paint with interference, it's called. So it kind of has like that metallic shimmer, the blue only, not all the other. But then when I got done painting it, in the middle is like golden white gold. When I got done painting it, I heard, that's your aura and your spirit, your true spirit. I was like, what? So I love hanging this where I'm at. And I know it's nothing fancy. I'm not out here like, look at this masterpiece. Not at all. But it to me is a good reminder, and it almost does kind of create a portal or a vortex. If you see, we start out like bigger, and it gets, and it's like, don't go to the light. But when you are the light, you don't have to go anywhere, you know? So there it is. I love that. And it's hard to see like the sparkly gold on this in this lighting. I wish you could see it in person. It like this looks like trash on the screen. Like, to be honest, like the colors are more vivid and it blends better in person. I wish you could see it in person. Is what I'm trying to say. Not that it matters. I didn't make it so anyone had to be like, oh, that's trash or that's amazing. Like, it's just there because to me, it does represent what it is. My spirit coming through to assist and help. Yep, we have more access to the cosmic light. The 7D is more fluid-like. So I feel you're connecting and embodying our consciousness above 7D. I love that. That's amazing. So cool. All right. Well, my family's probably going to be home very soon. I mean, they're not very far away from my house where they're at right now. So let me pull one more card for the collective or anyone who's still here this late in the day, in the game. Carrie says not to put shields on, rather shine more. And that's something intuitively, like, yeah, I will shield up if I have to, but I'm more about just being the light, and anything that doesn't vibrate with the light, it gets pretty turned off pretty fast. Like if you're, because that's something I do. I think I've shared this on the live before, where we go to a band concert for the kids or, whatever. And I will put this like energy source around me, because I don't like when people sit right behind me, or usually like I want to have my back against the wall. So I'll usually sit way up at the top of the bleachers. So not like at concerts where, like it's like a professional concert, like I'll sit wherever I sit, like that's fine. But like if it's a kids band concert or a basketball game, I'll either sit way at the front, at the bottom, or way at the top. I want to have at least my front or my back open and not with people there. Why? I don't know. I think this is just a safety thing from maybe past life or childhood. But I noticed, not that we've been to a band, we were at a band concert earlier. Well, it was last month. And I did sit at the back, but we got there so early. We had our pick of any seat in the house. So I just automatically went to the back, but it wasn't for safety or protection or anything like that. But I just automatically kind of put this energy around me, and people don't usually sit, even if there's like no other seats in the whole bleachers, they will usually leave right in front of me. Ryan, my husband, he's sitting right next to me, and they'll sit right in front of him. Or Wrigley's on this side of me usually, or if it's Boston's or Wrigley's event, Boston will be sitting next to me. There's people between them or in front of them, but right in front of me, open. Because I just set it that intention, like no one's going to be right in front of me because I need it open for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah, when you, and when I do put shields up, it more is to block out anything negative. I still allow anything that's neutral or above to infiltrate if it needs to. But that can be pretty exhausting, keeping up all these different shields. So instead of shielding up, I'd rather just embody my light. That feels more natural to me anyway than putting, of course, if you're in a bad neighborhood, it may be actually more beneficial to just shine your light as bright as you can, because you may become just completely invisible to some of these people out here looking to do you not so good. I just heard a door close. They're home. So let's pull a card for the collective. Let's get one from this deck and one from the Money Moves Oracle because why not? Okay, we got conflict. We were just talking kind of about, shielding up. Difference, dispute. I think this is disputation, but that is not a word. And quarrel. Disputation. The word is dispute, not disputation. Maybe the word disputation is a thing and I'm just not that smart. I don't know. Let me tune in. Let's see. Disputation. Apparently it is a thing. I'm just dumb. Debate or an argument. Okay. See, I'm not up on my SAT words. It is a word. She says your light will repel anything that is dark entity. See, there you go. Yeah, I really resonate with that. Yeah, because I'll shield up if I have to, but it feels more potent to just shine my light and be the light, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Be the light, be who we are hoping for. Okay. One more. So we have that conflict, disputation. It is a word. I'm just stupid. I did not know. I was ill-informed. Ooh, love affair. Beware of love affairs at work. Rarely end well. Well, it says and well. See, that really is a typo there. Don't lose your mind. These are very conflicting, no pun intended, energies. One is all lovey-dovey, the other one's conflict. So this may be that things are going on between these two extremes right now. Yeah, shine, baby, shine. I love when she says that. It's so cute. Yeah, that's so powerful too. Just shine. Because usually, I saw this I think it was a guidance counselor or teacher, but you could hear like this whole auditorium full of students behind him. Oh, this goes here. And then he was just doing a demonstration with a girl on stage. And he's like, okay, come at me and just bully me and keep bullying me as much as you can. Don't use any bad words, but like, come at me. And so she's like, you're stupid. You're dumb. Like, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah. And just like shuts down. And he's like, okay, let's try something different. So he has her do the same thing, like, come at me, bro. And then instead, she's like, oh, you're short. And then he says something like, yeah, you've seen it, so I don't need to explain it. But, he basically just shined his light. He's like, yeah, maybe I am a little bit short, but, it does work for me. Or, whatever the case may be. And then he was also like giving really positive vibes back to the person that really didn't deserve it. I mean, the little girl was just doing what she was told for the sake of the example. Well, she wasn't a little girl, but, preteen probably. And boy, this is something I actually did when I didn't have a lot of, weirdly enough, I didn't pick up when girls were bullying me. I didn't get bullied really. It got called Carrot Top like 4th and 5th grade by this one group. But then by 6th grade, a lot of that group were dyeing their hair red. So like, who was the real Carrot Top? It was me all along. But I used to say, Carrot Tops are green. What are you talking about? Because they are. But I know what they meant. My top is a carrot. I get it. So I didn't really get bullied. I mean, people would kind of bully me in a more, oh my God, I love your outfit. Her outfit's dumb. Like more like that and it wasn't like in high school, I didn't get a lot of that at all. Cause that's how I rolled. If someone was going to come at me with negativity, I would be like, I could almost sense it before they would ever say anything. And I would give them a compliment about something and it totally dissipated whatever they had planned. Like back then I was almost just constantly in fight or flight mode to where I could anticipate an attack coming a mile away and I could prepare for it before they even got their jaw open to say something to me or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I really did employ a lot of that. And my mom told me, kill them with kindness. She used to say that all the time. And I even tell my kids, it's like, okay, he's not treating you right. Well, treat him really good because it just totally catches someone off guard. And then they start to, analyze it. And another good thing, I saw this not that long ago was, especially if you're trying to like raise your vibe and just be a better person and all the things, and someone comes at you with gossip and normally you just kind of go like, I don't really know what to say. So like, you're like, oh, really? They did say that? Oh, that's very interesting. Instead of like agreeing with them or like giving them the power or the gumption to move forward with more gossip, you could say something more like, oh, well, why do you have such a strong reaction to that? And really get them in their own self-awareness, like, oh wait, this person just kind of called me out for why do I have such a strong reaction to why that person's doing this or that person's doing that. It really catches people off guard. And the light does that. So yeah, be out here catching people off guard in safe ways though. Be safe. Don't go purposely into bad neighborhoods and try to make things happen. Hi, Tamara, daughter of Oya. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Welcome. Yes, we are just about to close out. Family just got home. We're through our donation list. Let me just refresh so I don't leave anyone hanging. It was, I think last Wednesday, I closed the live stream before I refreshed one last time, and Brianna had donated, but it was fine. We took care of it on Friday. No big deal. But yeah, I like to just make sure we're up to date. We're solid. Okay, we're good. So I'm gonna go, but I will be back here Friday. It is a donation only live stream on Friday, so we won't have all the fun theatrics and and antics that we just were doing, because I'm gonna work that day at my other job as well. So we'll get in, we'll get out, all the things. So that will be 11 a.m. Mountain Time this Friday, as in April 4th, just 2 days from now. Really almost 1 day from now, because we're almost into Thursday at this point. If you're more on the East Coast or on the other side of the world, you're already in Thursday potentially, or close to. So not that far away. We'll be back. Donation only live stream. So if you have any pressing questions before the weekend, you can get those donations in and we can get those answered for you very easily. Okay, so I think that's it for me. So thanks again, you guys, so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot live on Friday on 4/4. Friday is 4/4, April 4th of 2025, which does not add up to a 4, but that's okay. All right, you guys, bye.